Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. If you caught me being distracted, it's because I've got some kitty cats running around. Anyway, that's a terrible introduction. How about this one? My name is Chris, and I will be your host today. What is this? A live stream where I'm going to react to all sorts of independent comics that have been mailed to the Comic Tropes P.O. Box. I host a show called Comic Tropes. The algorithm doesn't love live streams like that, so I've got a second channel. We call it Pros and Cons, but I'm thinking of rebranding it Comic Tropes After Dark. I feel like that would be fun. Hi, do you want to help with the show? Oh, I've got two kitties here. Okay, well, anyway. Hey, Jean, that's my sister. Hello, Chemdog, Daniel, and Rick. Hello. Yes, I'm the Comic Tropes guy. But tell you what, I've got a lot of comics that have been sent in, so let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into showcasing some of the cool indie things that have been sent my way, and I'll give my best to give my honest reactions. Hopefully, for any of the creators that are sending things like this in, this helps get the word out for them. If you want to use anything that I've said as social media content or clip anything, that's fine by me. Whatever helps. So I've got about 15 pieces here, folks, and I just want to dive right in. This one's coming from outside the country. This one's coming from Canada. Ooh, I love the cover. This is like not glossy. This is actual like sort of paper, but it's nice and smooth. Sorry that it got a little bent to whoever sent this in. They also sent me a letter. Let me just take a quick look and see what that says. Oh, okay. This person says that they've got a YouTube channel. So when this show is done, I'll add chapters and I'll add links if anybody provides me with social media of any kind. I'll put that in the description of this episode. This comes from Luigi, and he's got a channel called, I have a YouTube channel with Lena's Theme. Lena's Theme. I think that's the character. I'm just reading this real quick. Lena the Letter Carrier, it says, is available on Amazon for $11, and I have a YouTube channel with Lena's Theme, the Turtles theme, and other original music. Okay. A Turtle's Tears comes from my personal experience with depression. Well, that's important to me. Not only have I talked about my sincere issues with that, but just last weekend, I helped with my friend who has a channel called Bronze Age Nerd. He runs a charity every year to raise money for veterans with mental health needs. So let's take a quick look at A Turtle's Tears and see what we can see. So very new, obviously, copyright 2024. Happy Gang Comics. I love the positivity. Promotional considerations paid for by the following. Thistle filtered cigarettes. That's awesome. Yes, this came from Canada, and obviously they've got a little map here of what it's like in this fictional town. This is beautiful. It says, yeah, this is really cute. Everybody's getting in this turtle's face with their positivity. And he's like, have a look for and listen to Lena's theme music courtesy of Sweet Lou, and then get organized with Lena the Letter Carrier. 100 pages. Okay, so this must be the thing that they're talking about that's real. This is great. Wow, this could do really well for like sort of young adult readers if they're talking about, sadness in a very serious and healthy way. What a complicated creature. Yeah, we all are, aren't we? Oh, got an F-bomb. Oh, well. It's not for young adults then. That's okay. It works for me. I can't wait to read this in more depth. I'm very impressed with the presentation. Manufactured. Oh, okay. So it's Amazon on demand. I've heard more people doing things like that, using Amazon printing on demand. But they paid for an ISBN. That's pretty serious. An ISBN is not cheap. But if you get one, then other places can order your book, like stores, I mean. So that's kind of awesome. Very cool. That's a great start to things. Hello, PJ. MF, very official. It is official. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing something so personal. And this is a great art style. Yeah, very clear and distinct. It's cartoony, but it like full body shots, very consistent, very readable. I'm impressed. Moving on. Here comes one from, I think, upstate New York. I'm trying not to show people's addresses on the return address. I don't want to accidentally dox one of my viewers. That would not be. That would not make me a very popular channel. Wow, there's a bunch of stuff in here. All right. Wow. Vincent in Pieces. Mario Cau, I'm going to guess. Nice. Oh, yeah, Mario has a great bit of social media here. All his socials are listed along with a QR code. This is great. Honestly, I don't have business cards yet, and I'm realizing I really should when I go to conventions. I really should have something like this. And also Teardrop, Sad Stories in the Rain. Are we forming a bit of a theme here? Let me take a quick look at this letter. A Brazilian comic book author. Wow. That's so cool. I'm just trying to read this for myself. Thank you, Mario, for such a nice letter. I keep these, by the way. These are all for me. What should we look at first? Teardrop, Sad Stories in the Rain, or Vincent in Pieces? We'll look at this one first to go with a little bit of a theme. Let's see. Hello, Greg. Hello, GT Key. Lovely. No, I don't believe so. They just have an on-demand print service. That's all it is. I don't think that they own anything. I'm not an expert, so don't take my word on it. I'm not giving legal advice, but I'd be pretty surprised if they put something like that in that actually carried any weight. Pretty sure it's just printing, though. Anyway, Teardrop, Sad Stories in the Rain. Short stories based on relationships. So there's some, oh, wow, yeah. I do love a good illustration of rain. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it looks so good. All these like straight lines. I feel like I haven't quite mastered that. Like mine always have a little bit of a curve to them when I throw down with something like, say, a whiteout pen or something. I always end up putting in a curve, which obviously it could have, but I love nice, uniform, straight lines. Great style, great storytelling, panel to panel, like makes sense, varying up the angles. Each character distinct. Great balance of blacks and whites. There's a lot to like here. Wow. Oh, I can't wait to dive into this in more detail. Let's see. So that was like a good representation of how the artist handles maybe some older characters and younger characters. And then we've got sort of middle-aged people here too. Interesting decisions here with the hands being outlined in such thick, heavy lines and breaking through the panel borders. Huh. I'm trying to absorb this in the storytelling context. It definitely makes it feel like, reaching out and touching is important here. It's a curious decision. Wow. Yeah, this is really nice looking. Very impressive. Let's see if Mario has one big link or something. On artstation.com, Mario Cau, C-A-U. Brazilian graphic novelist. Nice. That's very nice. Let's see. My sister is in the chat and she's texting me telling me where I can get business cards. Thank you for thinking of me, but I was afraid it was an emergency. Let's take a look at Vincent in Pieces. Boy, does that character look haunted. Vincent van Gogh was a fascinating artist, but definitely dealt with some severe mental issues that were not diagnosed in their time. Originally published in Partes de Todo. So this was originally published in Portuguese, I guess. Oh. This is about seeing a guy who looked like Vincent van Gogh, but was not Vincent. Such intensely, whoops, hold on. My microphone wants to fall down. I've tightened it up. Really using space well, aren't they? Each panel carries maybe a little more weight when you spread it out like this. But the uniform panel dimensions really make you read through it kind of quick. It feels like you're blinking and getting snapshots to me. Looks like you're blinking and getting snapshots. Quick little moments. That's interesting technique, isn't it? Look at how they've, you put like a pattern sometimes behind a character to balance, some white, like negative space against like a darker pattern. Use a good balance of black and white. And a lot of times I've seen artists just do some simple cross hatching. They've used actual fingerprints here. I actually really like how that looks. I wonder if there are screen tones in Japan of like fingerprints. That would be interesting. That's true. Holidays are a depressing time of year. Oh my God, yes. One of the best episodes of Doctor Who, Vincent and the Doctor. What a beautiful ending. That I definitely thought of that too. Hello, hello. Yeah, I like a lot of this. You love these episodes? That's nice. I love that I get all these sort of extra comics. I would never ask for free things, but if you're curious, in the description there is a link, or I should just say I've listed my P.O. box, and you can send stuff in if you want me to do something like this for your comic, like just a live reaction and give thoughts and maybe get some more words, some more eyes on it. It's interesting how so much of this is like boom, 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 like distinct storytelling style, poetic. And then it sort of goes to this second story and everything slowly opens up as it's more about the artist than the person he was observing. And there's a nice little history about Vincent. Wow. There's Mario. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Mario, for sending such beautiful comics. Great print job. This is beautiful. I appreciate that a lot. New comics. My fiance will absolutely send you in a comic one day. Oh, cool. Well, when I've got a channel like this, it feels like it's my responsibility to boost the signal for emerging creators and indie comics. That's super important to me. So that's only 2. We've got a lot more to go. So I need to keep moving just so that like this gives everybody a fair shake. And there's no order to what I'm grabbing here. It's just in the order that the post office stacked it in this box for me. So not playing any favorites. I'll give everybody as much of my attention as I can. Where's this coming from? Colorado. Beautiful, mountainous, clean air, Colorado. Ooh. I don't think there's a letter in here. Let me just double check that there isn't one in here. Or maybe in the front. Well, it's signed. That's nice. This is Boatship, the City. Story and art, James Fuller. And is there any sort of website? Oh, an ISBN. Look at that. $20? Yeah, sure. Very fair for an indie comic this size. 100 billion years in the future, a lot has happened. This is the story of a floating city and its colorful citizens. A tough private eye walrus with a Gatling gun implanted into his stomach? Check. A cyborg pygmy police captain? Check. A banana femme fatale? Check. A host of other savory and unsavory characters? Check, check, and check. Okay. So, going to be a lot of characters. Oh, yeah, wow. Look at that. You know what I like about an indie comic that has this sort of like scratchy style is it just feels... let me think for a minute of exactly what kind of an adjective I'm searching for here, but all this texture really like gives it a tactile feel. I'm struggling to find exactly what kind of word I'm using, but I love this walrus with a Gatling gun in his stomach. Good Lord, this is so weird, and this is what makes me love comics. Good luck getting a story like this done anywhere else. Like, what are you gonna have a TV show or movie that would tell this? Like, that would never happen. But you can tell this huge, weird, colorful story in comics and have so little that would block you. You know, this is somebody that doesn't have editors saying like, no, you can't publish that here. That you can publish it yourself, and I love that. That's a great shot, but that's really good. The light coming through the slats. Good shading. Tuscan stuff. Yeah, this is lots of different weird characters for sure. Respect. Think of how long this would take to draw all of these pages. This is all by one person. Wow. I admire the hell out of the work ethic that this takes to sit down and just, craft page after page after page. I also love this robot building. This is awesome. This is the chapter I want to read. Let me just see what they have back here for credits. Let's see. Boatship is a labor of love. It comes from a series of puppet plays some friends and I started making so many years ago, I can't even remember how long it's been. Story and art by James Fuller. Wow. That is amazing, James. That is kind of beautiful. This book hates Nazis. Good. Me too. Me too. Excuse me. Got a little bit of a cough. Doesn't make me a perfect host. But this is just sort of a chill type of show. I love this behind the scenes material. This shows a bunch of the puppets that they made. And you know what? It's a different sort of a style, but boy, is it. Yeah. I can see how it became something else. Well, there you go. I was just saying, like, you could only do this as like a comic book, but I guess you could also do some of it as a puppet show. Never would have guessed. Amazing. So different. They had a vision. That's fair. Hey, Brian, how are you? A labor of love. And I love that. I love that you, and I think you can see that. Whether you love this story or this art style, that kind of stuff is in the eye of the beholder. But I think when you look at this whole project, you definitely have to say that this is a labor of love. You know what I think is good? I want to give them a specific compliment. This is really good lettering. This is good lettering. None of this is like covering up the important aspect of the art. It's all positioned very well. It's got a unique lettering style, but it's definitely clean. I can read it very well. I did notice that as I was flipping through this. Very good lettering, actually. This is nice hand lettering. I love the creativity, but I also love good lettering is an art I absolutely adore. I think I made an episode about it on Comic Tropes, about sort of the history of lettering, because I just find it absolutely fascinating. But I will say this person has some great lettering. None of it is like annoyingly breaking a panel border or covering up an important aspect of the story, and there's not too much. They've done a good job balancing how much dialogue you can sort of fit on a page. I mean, there's a lot here and there, but I think it's not overwhelming. None of this looks like a wall of text. Anyway, I'm just impressed. I think it's good lettering. Thank you very much. Appreciate this, James. Very, very much. Grab something else. Oh, this is a unique one. Thin. Where's this one coming from? That's weird. It just says that it came from Amazon, but it was sent to my P.O. box, and I don't send stuff for myself to the P.O. box. I send it to my house. I guess if somebody's printing on demand, they probably could have like sort of ordered their book through Amazon that way, right? Is that a potential? Oh, this comic is from Jeff Bezos. Who knew? This is really tough to get into, though. I don't want to cut the comic inside, but it's really gummed up all the way up to whatever is in here. I'm almost inside. Hopefully, this is really exciting to watch an old man struggle to get into a package. Back in my day, packages were made of simple paper and you had to lick the top of it to get in. All right. We're almost there. Oh, it is through Marcosia. I worked on a book through Marcosia. Oh, this person's sent in artwork to me before. Jane Jett. I definitely remember Jane Jett. Let me take a look. Yeah, I think originally Amal, the writer, might have sent in the first set of Jane Jett comics. Definitely a sort of retro Rocketeer type of story. But, yeah, with sort of a 1950s housewife at the center of things. Character matters. The background of a character really matters. I like the coloring in this. It's good. I'm glad to get more of this. Thank you very much. I remember Jane Jett. I love adventure comics. I think that sometimes, a very sort of straightforward idea for a superhero and a setting allows you to really explore the character in between. It's a trick. Yeah, the packaging was a trick. Yes, I was ripping into it like a bear into a camper's cooler. Thank you. The amazing Brunson. Thank you for showing up. Great artist, folks. Is it possible to make the desk camera full screen and the other angle a smaller box within? I don't think so, but let me check. Let me look at the options I have here. Oh, that's not bad. Let me just adjust the focus. Maybe this is a better way. And is that a little better? Oh, geez, hold on. I'm just having trouble positioning it. Someday I'll get myself a nice, like, armature, I guess, for this. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't explore other angles sooner. A little bit of a surprise. Yep, good idea. Thank you, Dow, for having me check that out. No, you're doing great work, man. Perfect. Good. Okay, so that helps you guys see things a little better. Good idea. Yeah, why waste all that negative space? Ooh, pinups. You know, I'm giving some strong thought to making a comic through a crowdfunding platform in February, I think. And I definitely would love to try to do something like this where, you give friends and people that you respect some pages in the back to do their interpretation. Real world historical influences on the world of Jane Jett. Joan Jett. I can't help it. I'm thinking of the musical artist. Project Paperclip. Look at that. Public domain. The original spark for Jane Jett came from the public domain character Rocket Man and Rocket Girl. You know what? I have to admit, I feel like I know a good amount of public domain superheroes. It's something I look for on my main channel. I haven't come across these before. Good job. Thank you for sharing this. I really appreciate that. Cool thing about Marcosia is pretty easy to order from either Marcosia or Amazon almost anywhere in the world if you like something. I'm not too small. I think that this is smart. Thank you. Beautiful book. All right. Next up is something from New Jersey. That was a perfectly authentic Jersey accent. You're welcome. What can I say? Every once in a while, I'll drop in a perfect impression. No extra charge. No extra charge. Boy, do I have a cough. Today, by the way, I found this amazing drink from Quest. Quest makes things without sugar. It's a peppermint mocha. It's tasty. All right. What do we got here? Oh, this is another person that sent me a comic before. I think you guys will be amused by this. Folks, it's another issue of Space Fart. Tell me that isn't a fantastic title. Come on, that captures your attention. Whether you find it funny or not, you're likely to remember Space Fart. 36 pages of brain-blasting action and laughs. We're being attacked by a statue of Winnie the Pooh? Well, hey, public domain now, so go nuts. This is from Eric, by the way. Eric Calfee. It's a little hard to read here, but let's see. Instagram at space.fart. On Twitter at dinner_4_wolves. All right. Dr. Handjob. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm a simple man. This kind of stuff amuses me. I love the art style. Look, this artist is obviously capable of doing some pretty realistic characters if they really need to. It's a distinct choice to draw in this animated style, but this reminds me in the best ways of indie artists I like Charles Burns or who am I really thinking of? Did Ghost World? I'm just bad at names. I'll come up with it, or somebody will remind me. Oh yeah, happy to take a look. Colin Farrell as Penguin, I believe, had a very authentic Gotham City accent. Hey Ma, look, I did what I said I would. Top of the world. Thank you, Steppen. Thank you very much. Isn't it a fun style? Look, it's probably not for everybody. This is some dark humor. Don't be too surprised with whatever pops up, but this is fun and funny. Obviously, it works for me. Oh, good. Superhero parody stuff. I love it. I love it. Dude, way to go. Always impressive when people make the decision to publish stuff like this in color. It's something they really couldn't easily do in the 70s. Monday always wins. Monday wins always. Yes, that's just true. That's just true. Eric, thank you so much. Space Fart. Oh my God. Mature content for immature people. Great tagline. Yoind it, kid. It's me, Penguin. I like that. I like that a lot. I hope you guys will check that out. Space Fart. Funny to me. I'll have links. When I'm done, I'll go back and look at each of these comics and the letters and stuff, and I'll put in chapter breaks and links to any socials that I can. But very fun. What a diverse array. We start off with two sort of somber comics, and then we get some superhero stuff. We get some comedy stuff. Chula Vista sending me something. Yeah, actually, Chula Vista, not somebody from Chula Vista. No, this is the city itself. All right. Maybe I should change up the camera angles in between so that you guys don't have to look at a mostly blank screen, right? These Gem Mint mailers or Gemini mailers, are fantastic for protecting the comics, but they do take a minute to get into. All right. Thank you, though. Always appreciate it when the comic comes all protected like. Strange Sight Studios presents Brad Walker, Mundusa. It's too late to look away. Extra copy for a friend? Aw, that's so nice. I don't know if anybody's ever done that for me before. It's just sent me an extra copy and said this is, to give out. I market Sunstone as a mature story about immature people. Ah, very nice. Thank you, by the way, for jumping in. Yes, Chula Vista all got together to send this to me. All right. June 2024, and I don't pick up my comics from the P.O. box every month. I wait until there's, sort of at least 10 pieces before I do one of these. But let's take a close look. Brad Walker, Strange Sight Studios, Mundusa. This is printed on something that, if it isn't newsprint, it's very much like newsprint. I have to admit, I love the tactile experience of a newsprint comic. It really reminds me of just getting into comics initially. There's a real nostalgic feel to this. There's like I feel a tiny bit of the ink on my hands while I flip this, and I love it. I love it. Wow, this art style feels very sort of dreamlike. Do you know what I mean? Like every once in a while it's impressionistic, sort of like feels very subjective. Very, these are the impressions I get just flipping through the story. It says it has to do with psychic stuff. The denizens of my realm are suffering. They have been affected by a great plague sent from above. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Look at that. That's definitely drawn with a lot of like white out or scratching off something, but it's like drawn in negative. That's a really cool idea for doing something underwater. That's a great idea. Yeah, I sort of know what you mean. I recently got a bunch of Polish comics from a reader, and there is a certain style. I also have some Russian comics, and there is sort of a. I think that different regions have certain influences that lend themselves to a style, even if like the individual artists you can tell them apart and stuff. I'm too close to sort of American comics sometimes, so I can't always tell that like style, but I can certainly tell, the lean Claire art style of bande dessinée versus like certain manga storytelling tropes. And when I get into like going further east than like Italy and Spain and stuff that makes some beautiful comics, there is a certain sort of scratchy style, like an impressionistic type of storytelling that becomes apparent. This is cool. Good balance of black and white. I thank you for using newsprint, or at least something that's close to newsprint. It gives me good vibes. More strange books. God, that's impressive to me. Help on turning into a human. The Gorgonauts. Sorry, it took me a minute to read that one. I was reading this, like, where they've got, like, each of the letters sort of falling over. But that's impressive. Next issue. Good for you. Way to go. And as a nice website brand here where you could put something like an ISBN or a UPC code, signed by Brad. Very kind of you to do. Very kind of you to send this to me, as well as to send me an extra copy. I really appreciate that. Instagram at Brad1Walker. Mundusa.com. Good job, people. Yeah, dry brush. That's definitely a tool that was in the back of my mind when I was looking at this. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, hold on. There's some pages here. Yes, somebody definitely used some dry brush techniques. And I think that there's some mixed media techniques going on, even though we see this in black and white. If we look at it, there's definitely, like, for the texture and the shading, they're using some different types of media. And I like that. It keeps me guessing. It keeps me paying attention. What do you guys think of this cover? It's clean, isn't it? It's clean. I think if this was like, on a rack where you only get to see like the top, maybe that doesn't catch the eye enough if other comics are covering it like on a spinner rack. But I don't think that too many comics are presented that way. And working within, this style and stuff, a clean open art line style face against a black background is always going to stand out. A lot of artists are going to push for a dynamic angle, conflict, but there's something about a face that always has us stare back. I think that that's just something people do is stare at faces. So interesting ideas. Sisterhood of Dada vibes from Doom Patrol. It'd be cool if the creator put more of the funky marks on the cover. I might have liked that too. That would be an interesting thing to ask the creator. Like, what made you decide to do the cover a little bit different from some of the interior pages? Another one from outside of my country, from the Great White North, beautiful Ontario. Anybody ever been to Ontario? I've been once to Ontario. Been to British Columbia a bunch of times, but Ontario, I think only twice. Toronto's in Ontario, right? I need to look at a map. I don't know my my Canadian provinces as well as American states. Another mailer. Just double checking that. Yep, there's no letter in there, so give me a moment. I've got Queen's song "Don't Stop Me Now" stuck in my head. It makes me want to like move at a really fast pace. Having a good time, having a good time. You can just look at me while I open this. Nova Scotia, where I found Hulk 340 back in 92. Yes, Nova Scotia. I think, Jeannie, am I remembering right that that's where our great-grandfather came from? Go Canada! It's my good friend Randy. He's got some great comics himself. The one he's doing as an ongoing series on Kickstarter has been Bullet Adventures, which I really like, and I feel like I should have somehow promoted it even more because I like it so much. All right, here we go. Back to that view. Atrium. Very professional looking cover. That's some really good placement of so many characters. And I was just talking about, a dynamic shot. Look at that angle. Really draws you in. But good composition. Good composition. Comics with an X, Asylum Publishing. Steve Bino sent this. My name is Steve Bino, and I'm the co-creator and co-writer of Atrium, the debut comic from Comics Asylum Publishing. Comics Asylum Publishing. Wow, 3 issues. The first issue of Atrium was kickstarted in September of 23. We followed that up with a campaign for issues 2 and 3 in March of 24. And we're gearing up the campaign for the final 2 issues in the series, and the pre-launch page for issue 4 and 5 is currently live. When was this sent? August. That shows that I've not looked in a few months. You know Atrium. Atrium is from the 7... Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think my, because sometimes I do these indie showcases like live where guests can just come on. I'll interview them about their comic a little bit. I think you're right that we did talk about Atrium on the 7-hour stream. I think you might be right. That sounds right. And yes, Kim Dog, they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Okay. I thought so. Good. So I've been to Toronto once and the Niagara Falls part of Canada, which is so much better than the U.S. side. I guess I am. Does that make you like me more, Randy? Are we even better friends? Oh, cool. All right, let's take a look. Ooh. So, created and co-written by Steve and Peter Van Horn. Art by Lucas Filappi. Ooh, they found a good artist here. They found a good artist. Oh, wow. This is very confident when you can set things up with an action scene with minimal dialogue. Very realistic. But you know what? Like sometimes when you draw in like this realistic style, I go, oh, they might be overly referenced. But you know what to then look for is consistency with the character design panel to panel. And I'm seeing quite a bit of consistency. I feel like this still isn't quite focused. Give me a moment here. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. So yeah, there are things you can look for when you see sort of a realistic art style, and you go, well, is that all just sort of like heavily referenced? Well, look for the panel-to-panel consistency, and I would say that these characters look surprisingly consistent. So I'm impressed. If you can draw in, there are a bunch of artists who draw in a very realistic style. That I love, like somebody like Brian Hitch. I'm just a fan. This is good. A lot of faces. I'd love to see a little bit more variety in some of this part of the story, but obviously they're capable of that because like look at that. Talk about like that is a fantastically represented interior of a train, real reactions, like things obviously showing cause and effect. And wow, I hope that was fun to draw because it looks great. It really does. So I would say I wish there was maybe a little less just talking head for so many pages, but this is also issue 1. You've got to get a certain amount of exposition depending on the story. So I'm not really complaining, just an observation. These vehicles are great. As somebody that like always has trouble drawing vehicles to both look realistic, consistent, and dynamic, I literally love this shot. That low angle makes me think something dangerous or is about to happen. Wow. Yep, and sure enough, the car that pulls up beside it opens up. That is great. That is incredible. Atrium. This is very impressive thus far. Yeah, looks like the same creative team. Issues 2 and 3. They said they did together, and yep, same sort of thing. Wow, I'm very impressed. Oh, that's a great establishing shot. Look at how they gave that a good amount of space. Same thing up here. The aftermath of a like sort of an accident, and then like getting surrounded by like good choices. I think a certain artist might have sort of like highlighted some of these extra like bullet shots, and that's not what will draw us into the story for this particular sequence. We need to know how everybody is spatially related to each other to follow this easily. Hey, Erwin, nice to have you here. Dude, that's great. All right, Atrium by Comics Asylum Publishing. Very, very impressed. There you go. comicsasylumpub.com. I'll put those links in, and then they've got their socials with @Comics Asylum. So good for them for grabbing, grabbing the appropriate names before they did anything. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I'm going to keep moving so that I can look at everything, but I'm excited to read this. I really like the art, and the story. It seems well paced too. So fantastic. It always amuses me. I love it when people in the chat room like know each other and they're just gonna have their own conversation. Thank you very much. What else we got? We got a bunch to go through still. New York, but upstate New York. Might not necessarily sound like that. Whoa, Tales of the Frog Knight. Oh, beautiful. I am a big fan of well done talking animal comics. You know, you go back and you've got such an amazing history of talking animal comics with stuff like Pogo, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, going forward to Usagi Yojimbo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. More recently, let's see, Michael Avon Oeming did William of Newbury, Mouse Guard by Peterson. Love that book. I have a piece in issue 2. Well, this is very cool. First issue, first printing. It is a good cover. It's a good use of light, isn't it? I love this. It's deceptively simple. It's deceptively simple looking. But good composition. Round, brings the eye around. Central character slightly offset. A few different colors to really bring our eye to the brightest spot. Great shadow. Very, very nice. Yeah, I think that a lot of us are trained to think of Mignola at this point with the deep blacks and, crumbling stonework. But yeah. I don't know yet. Let's see. Frog Knight created by Armand Bodnar and Digby Baker Porozinski. Aw. This is a thick book, by the way. All right, let's take a look at the interior pages here. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, beautiful. Again, look at how somebody is confident in starting their story off here with a minimum of dialogue. When you can tell the reader something about your character without the dialogue, just with the context, that's really impressive. That's very cool. And yeah, this is somebody, obviously has witnessed a bit of a tragedy, mourns them, moving on. But that's like a prologue. Oh, cool. I love the style. I love I love how simple some of these designs for, say, I don't know if this is a fox or a wolf, but a creature like that, and then the frog, but yet it's definitely recognizable as such. This is beautiful. And the colors. Wow. Holy moly. I've never heard of this before, but this is fantastic. Somebody like Dark Horse or Boom should have this book. This is something their audiences read, Then again, it's amazing that we live in a day and age where we can own our properties and put it out ourselves, and we don't need to always rely on a publisher. It's nice to have them do the busy work, but yeah. Atrium Trakhanov. It's pretty. These are great pinups. Oh, wow. I like this one a lot. These are beautiful. Like I said, if I put out a book, that's what I want to do, is be able to have friends have a piece in the back. I love supplementary material, folks. And this is all something that the people putting a comic out are sort of, in a sense, paying extra for. You're buying extra pages. This isn't what you need to have to sell the book, but I love it. I find this stuff very interesting. I love this. Oh, look at that. Book art matches the cover art. This is gorgeous. It is all ages. I'll have a link at the end too. Totally see some of those vibes. Absolutely. Kickstarted the second issue a couple months back. Well, Brunson was just saying did an art piece in it. This is something special. Issue 1 has been made possible through the generous support of our fantastic backers. Well, kudos to these wise folks that got in on this. This is a great looking book. Tales of the Frog Knight. Tales of the Frog Knight. Yeah, it just says published by Armand Bodnar. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing any names, but I'm very impressed with this. There's so much to appreciate. Oh, darn. You know, I'm sure when somebody's done something like this, there should be, like, you know, more opportunities to buy in. I'm sure that they'll do more and, you know, can always reprint. I'm very impressed. And I'm sorry if if it seems like I'm talking about one comic more than another. It's purely personal preference. I'm very impressed with anyone who has the creativity and the work ethic, the wherewithal to get all of this done. Trust me. Certain things, I guess, maybe excite me more, but that's, you know, beauty in the eye of the beholder and all that jazz, right? All right. Was it not in this bag? I'm not even going to bother. I love it. I really do. It feels a little unfair sometimes that I get this stuff when other people deserve it, but I appreciate it. All right, so let's switch back to this while I work on the next book. Yeah, hopefully. Gorgeous looking book. This is also, wow, this is from Singapore. I'd love to visit Singapore. I've had a few people say not tons to do there, but, you know, at the same time, I think I'd like, you know, just like the food and the weather. And I know that they've got some brilliant museums and libraries. So beautiful architecture. I'd like to go to Singapore. Having trouble again opening a book. Edison Neo. Edison Neo. Let's see. I don't know Edison Neo yet, but let's all learn about Edison together. Got a little bit of a package here. All right, I'm going to quickly... Oh, that's good. I like the color on that. That is... I'm a fan of Usagi, so let's see. And I'll just put that there while I quickly look at this letter. Making his own comics and self-publishing them for 4 years now. Working with IDW on TMNT and Godzilla. Whoa! And this person says that they've been watching the show since early on with some specific examples. Well, congrats, Edison, on getting some work. No brainer. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, self-published anthology. Frog Knight has a website, digital copies for $8. Totally fair. Great stuff. Okay, look at this. Edison, hell yeah, another great. Sewer Boys 2. Well, if you've watched these before, you guys know I was a big fan of Sewer Boys. That was great. That comes from the Oh, what's the name of the comics collective again? I keep thinking South Beach, Long Beach, right? The Long Beach Ink and Drink. That's a pretty funny cover. 1,277 calories, 923 grams of sugar. Oh, wow, that's dynamic. Dude. Oh, that's so funny. I've been both watching and reading Don to Don lately, and if you have either read the manga or watched the anime, you know that there is a talking Lucky Cat in there. There's one in here too. It's a coincidence, but that's funny. I'm a big fan of talking gorillas in comics. There was one with a jetpack that I really liked. It's going back to like the late 90s now. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll come up with it later. This looks great, Edison. Bunch of weirdo monsters and aliens and stuff. Aw, and a different sort of cartoony type thing. Let's see, joking about... Good for you, Edison, being this versatile with your style. Oh, well, there we go. Something like that definitely makes me understand how you could level up to getting Godzilla work. Ink and Drink Long Beach. Love you guys. Attenborough never stops. Observe the Bigfoot in its natural hunting ground. What a great idea. Thank you so much for these. I obviously need to sort of show a little bit of everything that was sent in right now, so I can't like look at it for too long, but let's take a quick look at some of these covers. That's both funny and dramatic. A huge disaster about to take place, and the hero in the extreme foreground just chilling, doesn't realize the danger. Paintball. That's a great angle. Tomb Guard. Monkey business. Yes, some awesome skateboarding content. I dig it. One of my favorite manga is Slam Dunk. It's just so exciting. Reminds me a tiny bit of that, but that's just the basketball part. But great work. And then look at that. Like, boy, gives a little more sort of indie vibes. Day in the life. But all that detail of the graffiti. Very cool. Don't you get in really big trouble in Singapore, though, if you do like graffiti or like spit gum out on the street? Wasn't there like a guy that was like famously caned for spitting gum out on the street? I feel like that was the case. That's as recent as July of this year. That's really cool. That's very impressive. Thank you so much, Edison. This means a lot. Again, Neo Comic Art. And there's a linktree.com. Neo Comic Art. Very cool. Yeah. Metal Society, a comic about a robot boxing a human? No, I don't think I know that one, but that's cool. No brainer. Great looking books. Yeah, big time, big time. Human laws, gorillas are exempt. You guys are awesome. Let's start stacking stuff over here, and the letters go in this pile. All right, what else have we got here? Sort of a box. All right. This is actually addressed to Chris and Jim, my co-host on the show, Trash Movie Bonanza. Hope you guys got a chance to see Jim and I's latest episode that's up on this channel. Jim had me watch a horror movie called Black Roses. Very unscary with its decisions. An exercise in how easy it is to make mistakes, even when you think you're being creative. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh! Oh! All right, let's show you. Wasn't expecting something other than comics today, but Beats of Rage, 2 DVDs or Blu-rays. So I'll send one to Jim. Black Roses for a Blue Lady. Black Roses was peak cheap wet puppet movie. Absolutely. The Beatquel you've been waiting for. Let's see. The sequel to the post-apocalyptic 80s style video game sports action comedy, The FP. This intense update is an instant cult classic, taking a DDR-style dance competition and raising the stakes to mythical proportions. JTRO retired from the Beat Revelation after he restored control of the FP to the 248 and finally brought back the alcohol and the ducks. But when the exact same problem again threatens Fraser Park, he embarks on the journey of a lifetime deep into the wastes, and this time the shiz is triple serious. Joined by hype man KCDC, he must defeat gang leader AK-47 on his own turf, while the fate of getting drunk and winning the heart of fellow Beat warrior Chai T hangs in the balance. Sold. We'll take a look. Thank you for thinking of us. I love this Sega Genesis style cover. That's some really cool retro art. I like that. Beats of Rage. Was there really a sequel though, or are they being funny? Because the sequel, I never heard of this this movie before. I'm thinking comics so much. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I'll be sure to send one to Jimmy Jams and put one aside to me with the other trash movie Bonanza stuff. And then one I'll send to Jimmy Jams. Ooh, just hurt my shoulder somehow. That hurts a lot. Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten. From the Battery to the top of Manhattan. Beastie Boys. All right. Let's see what Brooklyn has to send to us, because as we know, foot on the pedal, never ever false metal. England. Never mind. Engine running hotter than a boiling kettle. My job ain't a job, it's a damn good time. City to city, I'm running my rhymes. On location, touring around the nation. Beastie Boys, always on vacation. Itchy trigger finger, but a stable turntable. I do what I do best because I'm willing and able. No sleep till Brooklyn. Miss the Beasties so much. Well, I miss MCA. I mean, I miss the Beasties, but I miss them because we got no more MCA. Cancer is bullshit. I'm so good, I might get a DMCA after stuttering the first line. It hurts. Ma, thank you for jumping in. I love the Beasties. I can't do them justice, but I love them. Since Mod is here, I'll just let you know, in just over 30 minutes, Tyler Crook has a live stream every Friday where he draws something. Great artist. New book just got announced. Go check out the Mr. Tyler Crook channel if you want to see some great art being drawn. Hopefully I can finish this within 30 minutes so that I can be there. I didn't know this would go as long as it has, but ooh, that is a gorgeous series of covers. Look at that. There's a different sort of bit of a style to each one. All right, let's take a quick look. Oh, You guys can't see yet. Sorry. Sorry. I'm going to take a quick look at this. And yes, I definitely give a shout out to people with independent comics. One-man anthology, Rabbit Who Fights. Each book is meant to stand on its own, but the lead story ended up becoming a longer story, much to my surprise. It's a story about politics, religion, and oppressive governments. Issue 2 is sold out, but glad to send you a PDF. All right. And I'll be sure to put the website in here, but it is, if you go to timhamiltonarts.com, you can see more. Let's flip through one of the issues to get a sense. All right. Now I've got No Sleep Till Brooklyn in my head. B is for Birthright, an official, unofficial sequel to the short story A is for Afterlife I did for Copra issue 25. Who published Copra? C-O-P-R-A. Was that like an Image book or something? It's hard to remember, but that feels, or was that indie? I can't remember. This is gorgeous artwork. Oh my God. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this angle. This, wow. There's a lot of distinct influences here. I feel like some of this line work, I see a little bit of Simon Beasley or something like that. But then I jump back here and I feel like I see something closer to, Mobius. Just some interesting influences like mixed in there. This is fantastic. Holy shit. Come on, like this character, if that isn't Mobius, it's at least reminiscent of somebody like Jeff Darrow. There's also like stuff I see here, and I think of like Argentine comics, like stuff by Eduardo Risso. There's so many different influences to this, but I love it. I see a bit of Eduardo Risso in this. Self-published in the beginning, then Image picked it up for the trades and current run. Thank you. I thought that I'd seen Copra with the Image logo. This is great. Yeah, the covers are incredible. Fife, yeah, Michael Fife. Got it. Yes, thank you. Reminds you of Transmet. Yep. The colors are pretty great. They're vibrant. This really pops. Oh, wow. That's a different style, though. Oh, right on. I love when an artist has this kind of versatility. That's amazing. Dude. And this is obviously evocative of New Yorker stuff. Wait, many cartoonists who do cartoons for the New Yorker submit 10 or more cartoons every week for consideration. After doing this for 2 years like I did, you end up maybe selling 4 cartoons and are left with hundreds of unsold gags. Here are some of my favorites. Oh, right on. Something I learned recently is that people that do the comics that are sent to the New Yorker for the caption contest, it's my understanding now that they do have a punchline originally. It's not just like an open-ended concept. There is a punchline, and maybe somebody comes up with a better one or a different one, but sometimes like they sort of end up with the actual punchline. But yeah. Yeah, I see some of that too. Paul Pope, I see a little bit of that. No, I don't think it is all the same narrative. I think this is an anthology. It's just that the main story sort of like became something bigger. Whoa. Dude, this is... The comics on the indie scene are so mind-blowingly cool. This is like... I'm getting goosebumps right now looking at this. This is so impressive. Oh my God, I wish I could draw nature scenes like this. That is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I see almost like a little bit of Keith Giffen to how some of this is done. There's a lot of different artists you could say, but you know what? Like, it's its own thing too. It's its own thing. Rabbit Who Fights by Tim Hamilton. Dude. That's spring of 17, spring of 2018, spring of 2019. So it's an annual type thing. 2020 and I assume 2021. Oh, wow. I think that there's a small bit of leveling up here. Look at how confident Tim is with spotting those blacks now. It's great. This is something special. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for sending this stuff in. I'm flattered. A real privilege to get so many great comics this time. Whoops. There. Like that. Like that. I don't know. Giffen, Jansen, Pope, Sienkiewicz. Yeah, such a beautiful melting pot of influences. And yet it isn't feeling like it's just trying to ape one specific thing. I'm just feeling like I see some of these influences, but it's very confident. It's definitely its own thing. All right. Oh, this one's... No. Where's this one from? Huh. Does not say where this one's from. I didn't know you could even do that. USPS. Oh, it gives me a zip code. 40291. 40291, somewhere in the Midwest, right? 40291. Missouri or something? It's hard to... I don't know. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we just got like a pretty big storm. My wife and I were lucky. We didn't lose power. My in-laws did. It came back, but now we're about to get a second big storm. It's called a bomb cyclone, where it just sort of drops a really big gusts almost out of nowhere. And but now we're expecting a second one. We're just sort of getting the power back everywhere in the area, and a second one is coming like at the end of this weekend. It's yeah, not good. Not good. Suspicious package, says Brunson. Yeah, a little. They're all suspicious in the best way. In the best way. There were only 6 issues of Rabbit Who Fights by Tim Hamilton. Got it. All right. Ooh. Oh, I know this book. I'm excited to show this to you guys. Look at this. Ghost Agents. Ghost Agents, but they got Ghost Agents is a great book and put out by I'm just bad at names. Hold on, I know the guy's name. Rocco Jerome, and it's sort of like spy-fi, like sci-fi with spy stuff. And I guess they've teamed up with a local professional wrestler, Freya the Slayer, to play a character in this. So we've got a photo cover of like a professional wrestler who has joined this narrative. But this is the kind of stuff Ghost Agents does. It's crossed over with public domain characters here and there. It's got all, like other characters that jump in and out. It's surreal and cool and weird, but it's awesome. It's very action packed, but like you can sort of see there's monsters, and like, you know, they'll do weird things with like retro patterns to the colors and stuff like that. This isn't quite newsprint, but it's close. It's close. Ghost Agents is awesome. Ooh, you might be in the next Ghost Agents? That would be cool. That would be very cool. Yeah, Washington got it pretty bad with the weather. Look at that 2-page spread. That's fun. It's not for everybody, but I like it. I love going impressionistic with something like this. It makes the battle feel larger than just one, like, big punch or something. We've got like the characters in multiple places. I love these little insets. Just makes it look like a much bigger battle over the real estate of 2 pages. That's something unique to comics. You've got to be so efficient with how you spend your real estate because those pages fly by. And if you did this as a literal adaptation into, a cartoon or a TV show, it just flies by and then you're done. A couple people saying, is that Ken Landgraf? Yes. Good eye, folks. Ken Landgraf for the pencils, inks, the Zipatone, and credited for the violence. Hey, Eli Schwab did the letters. Eli runs Cosmic Lion Productions, and it's an indie publisher, but they've got distribution through Diamond this year. So kudos to the gang. Wow, way to go, Rocco and Ken. Can you pass the lion test? Cosmic Lion Productions. Freya the Slayer is Donna Prentice, shot on location in Louisville, Kentucky by Matt Simpson. That just reminds me of something. Kirkman was from that area. And I remember visiting him one time. And I'm trying to remember. I think Walking Dead 1 had just come out. So he'd done a few things. But he gave me, actually may have given it to me another time, and I may be conflating stories, but he gave me a pro wrestling comic that he had made, like both written and drawn. Something like Between the Ropes or something like that. I think it was called Between the Ropes. I've still got it somewhere. And obviously, as an artist, he didn't quite cut it. He's very lucky to have been friends with Tony Moore. But it is just the fact that that was shot in Louisville, Kentucky, and involves a pro wrestler. Reminds me, it was Between the Ropes. Have you seen it, Randy? I don't remember. He took all those sort of personality types and the story and the characters, and he turned that into the comic book Capes, if you've ever seen that, which is about superheroes that just do it as a job. They punch in and punch out and do superheroing as a job. Mark Englert was the artist on that, and he is currently redrawing the entire book because he thinks he's evolved. He's a better artist. He's taken his time, but it's at some point we're going to get a new version of Capes. Yeah, Capes. Long time ago now. This one comes from England, and I just want to show off one thing without doxing them. I'm going to cover up their address, but show this. Look at that. Infotron. I haven't used Infotron in a while, but there's my mascot. There's the Comic Tropes mascot. Oh, I made that costume in something like the first or second year of my show. Made these cute little Infotron plushes, and then realized I absolutely hate mailing stuff, and I just have zero interest in fulfilling stuff myself. But I've got hundreds of these and hundreds of Comic Tropes enamel pins. I got to use him again. You miss Infotron? I got to use him again. All right. So yeah, this is from England, and let's see what we got. But I love that drawing of little Infotron on the front. I'll keep that. Junked. This is out there, man. This is Adult Comics, Underground Overlords, Ash Can Edition. Wow. let's see if there's anything I really can. Yeah, I guess I can show most of this. If you're not reading Junked, then you're not reading Junked. I'm so nervous to like get demonetized or something. But no, this is okay. I mean, there's some violence, but it's nothing that you can't show. A couple different artists, I guess. Oh, cool, a letter. Hold on. Greetings from across the pond. Oh, we're 4 dudes who love comics and want to put out the kind of comics we love. Humor. Nice. Weird. Stupid. Funny. Issue 0. Issue 0. Dude, thank you to Paul, Leslie, Dan, and Dylan. I'll be sure to include some links when I'm done here, but yeah, a couple different art styles and respect. Oh, look at that. This is inserted. This is like a sort of another like mini comic that's actually stapled right in. There's a lot of like nudity and sex that I don't really want to dwell on for this. I'll just sort of like, there's not really nudity there, but I'll sort of cover it up anyway. But I don't mind this stuff. YouTube can get weird every once in a while. Thank you guys. Thank you. I feel bad. I wish I could show more of Junked. I can show like the back cover here with no problem. I'm just balancing. I want to give you guys props and kudos and talk about your stuff, but I also don't want to get like dinged too bad by YouTube. They're weird. You should be able to like be way more free with this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I can show you little bits. Pretty badass. I really like this art style in the middle. I really like this one. Yeah, I know you guys saw the Mario, and I'm trying just not to linger on it, and I should be okay. Thank you to the guys from Junked. Thank you. What else? Let's see how many more I've got here. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although this one says don't open on stream. I've gotten something from Kurt Burdick before. Cool comics, but thank you for the warning. I'll enjoy that. Cool comics, just not like all audience friendly. So we'll do 5 more. 5. Go. This one comes from Massachusetts, my home state. I'm going back to Massachusetts. Someday I probably will. If you're still there on the chat, sister, just so you know, be ready. Someday, coming back to Massachusetts. Oh, I know what this is. I saw this online. Stephen McCardle, writer-artist of this book. Give me a second. This is like sort of reminiscent of like 90s image type stuff. I'm just gonna rip into this bag. I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out. All right. Whoa. This is wild. All right. Am I remembering right that Vendetta was actually a self-published comic like 20-some years ago or something? Let me double check. Yeah, I am remembering it right. All right. Steve says, enclosed is the Vendetta Holy Vindicator trade paperback. Collects the comics I self-published in the 90s. Vendetta 1 through 4, Artillery one-shot, and lots of bonus material thanks to Floating World and Power Comics. Vendetta number 5 is in the July previews to ship in October. I think I saw the new issue at my local comic store. I think Stargazer in Tacoma has the newest issue of Vendetta. I mean, they did anyway. Dude, yeah. This was the 90s, man. This is what we lived on. This is just so cool to see, Steve. I did not realize you were from Massachusetts, but I remember Vendetta from the early 90s. I think I saw this at New England Comics in Quincy, and now that I think of it, that might make sense, because if you're from Massachusetts, maybe that's why it was in a Massachusetts store for being, like sort of an indie self-published book. If it wasn't, it might not have been NEC. It could have possibly been a store in Boston. There was one in Cambridge that focused on indie books, and I just can't remember the name of it right now off the top of my head. Yeah, this is pretty metal stuff. Power Comics. This is like, we had The Crow, right? And then we had Faust. And then other people were like, well, I can do this. And they were right. And you get somebody like Vendetta, who's a little bit like Punisher, a little bit more like supernatural and superhero type powery stuff. But this is so 90s. I love it though. That had to be inspired by like Goro from Mortal Kombat. I would think, but maybe not. Maybe it was like Fist of the North Star, something like that. This is pretty cool. Look at that. Back when like mohawks and like face paint were the default, you get somebody like Ultimate Warrior or Sting going around with looks like that. Maybe Lady Death might have helped inspire this, or maybe that was just, there was like a bad girl era. So that's so cool. Oh, Vaughn. Atrium, right? Blown away. Looked fantastic. Too many properly drawn feet. Dude, this is fun for me. This is awesome to go back like in time. This literally makes me feel transported. You got to keep in mind, this is like only 1 to 2 years into Image Comics launching. So stuff like Spawn was brand new at the time. Oh, man. There was just a way that cities were drawn back then. This is so much fun to see something from the 90s. This is going from like about 93 to 95, I think. An interview with Steve. Look at some of his original drawings. Like I say, this stopped somewhere around 95. So what's that? 30 years? I'm trying to do the math, and a new issue of Vendetta just came out recently. Red Bullet Comics. Love, like, look at this. How 90s is this, like, foil chromium, not chromium, but like the foil cover. That's awesome. Power Comics and Floating World Comics co-publish this 30th anniversary edition of the most righteously raging achievement in 90s small press comics. Yeah, I'm definitely aware of Vendetta. I don't know if I bought it back in the day or not. I might have bought an issue or two. I tried everything back then, but it's fun to go back to. That's really, really cool. Oh, Vaughn, like, trust me, like, the privilege is mine. The privilege is mine. Going back just because he's there. Comics Asylum did this, and I guess issues 4 and 5 were just recently published, but we were flipping through, and the artwork in these was fantastic. Really, really beautiful storytelling. So thanks for jumping in. Very nice of you. All right, let's see what else we've got. I think we've got 4 more. We've had some great comics this time. Atrium, Tales of the Frog Knight, Vendetta. Well, I shouldn't start listing them because then I'll feel like I'm leaving people out. They're all very cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Ooh. All right, this is kind of fun. I recognize this name. I think a bunch of you will recognize it too. I don't even look at like these until like I open them up, so I did not know who this is coming from. But this is coming from somebody that probably a lot of you out there have read his comics. It could be anybody still. Thank you all for jumping into the live stream, adding, polite comments and stuff. Love supporting comics. Whoa. Let's show this off. Wingman, a compendium of an artist's first writing experience. It's by Sean Chen. I think Sean somewhat recently did a Avengers book for Marvel's digital comics. I love being polite. Well, you're the best at it. Isn't it really strong? Yeah, Sean Chen. Let's take a look. I don't know what's in this. I just... Published by Next Chapter. I don't know Next Chapter. I like the formatting. That stands out. Let's take a look. Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow, look. It's an adaptation of like Death from what's this fantastic movie? I'm so bad at names. But I love this movie. This is so cool to see this adapted. Yeah, Sean Chen. Seventh Seal. Thank you, everybody. Seventh Seal. You all knew it. I think I've always been bad at this. Trust me. When it doesn't pop into my head, I start wondering, am I getting senile? Like, that's the fear. That's the fear. But anyways. Oh, so cool to see this adapted. And just to be clear, all these extra comments by Sean on his ideas. Look at this. The chess thing's more of a myth. Got any other games? Mario Kart? That's beautiful. Oh, you know what? You can see that Sean has given this his all. And it's awesome when, an artist is really invested. Boy, can you just sort of see their art really pop. This is incredible. I love, Sean, that you've included all of these comments on what your inspiration was, what the challenges are, as well as giving us this comic. What a great idea to like publish it in this like sort of longer format so that you've got like this square comic and then like all these extra comments. Beautiful artwork, of course. Beautiful. And yet it's still, even though this is a little silly and funny, it's still a serious discussion of death and what comes next. That's great. That's so cool. I was just curious what else. Yeah, it's all this story. Oh, this is beautiful. With respect, admiration, and apologies to Max von Sydow. Absolutely. Story and art by Sean Chen, based on the characters The Night and Death from Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal. Beautiful idea. New to me, but that is so cool. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a great film. It's really. Yeah, Sean's running off with more of your money. I don't blame you. Again, the publisher. Let's pull that back up. Published by Next Chapter. Huh. So, like, the reason that it's sort of formatted like this, if you don't know, is that Sean published these on his Instagram originally. So now it's getting the print treatment, and the idea of adding his commentary is just a beautiful sort of second layer to appreciate this. Look at that, though. Sean is really talented. The variety of angles, but the emotions and I call it the acting. The acting that an artist like Sean gives his characters, just really, really impressive. Wow. Sorry, I got a little quiet. Sometimes when I see something really beautiful, I just get lost in it. That's really gorgeous. Thank you so much, Sean. That's really, really appreciated. Oh yeah, with all the mist and the fog and everything, and yeah, I never put that together, but I know exactly what you're talking about, ChemDog. Genesis of the Daleks is one of the best Doctor Who episodes. It's Fourth Doctor story. Really good. Really, really good. All right, we've got 3 more to go. This one is coming from also New York. A lot of New York representation today. I hear it's Concrete Jungle Where Dreams Are Made Of. Actually, a lot of these are from all over the state of New York, not New York City necessarily. Although that last one was. Sean lives actually really close to a good friend of mine. Not that they know that each other live close to each other, but they do. The artist of Hench Girl, I bumped into at New York Comic Con, and what was funny is all of a sudden they're looking at my friends and they're like, "You look really familiar," and they realize they live in the same co-op building. Okay, a letter. Bear with me, just opening this mailer. Very impressive job. Let's see. ChemDog says you've heard Green Acres is the place to be. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I just adore the penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. Boing. All right. Rolland T Roach. Rated Teen Plus. All right. All right. Let me take a quick look at the letter. This is from Jono Doiron, or Doiron. I don't know. I would guess Doiron, but could be wrong. Take a quick look at this letter, and you can observe the cover. All right. Painter and illustrator living in Montreal. That's interesting. It came through New York. Oh, that's really kind. It's a very personal letter, but I appreciate it. This is from the very end of July, so it might not be up to date. Jono did have a Kickstarter that was about to launch. It's probably past now. I'm sorry. If I just did these one at a time, it just comes and goes. I need to sort of like get a critical mass of comics before I make an episode. But yeah. All right. Rolland T Roach. What do we got here? Written and illustrated by Jono. That's adorable. Oh my goodness. Sort of a realistic style to the world, and then the roach is drawn cartoony. Interesting mix of styles. Got an actual a photo of a real roach there. Big beefy. That's funny that we went from one comic about the knight talking to death to now we've got the roach talking to death. What an interesting juxtaposition we ended up with. And then it turns very cartoony as a bear goes after the roach. I love the variety of styles. I like humor comics a lot. I think that they're underrepresented in terms of critical analysis, and maybe that's some of my fault as well. Thank you for contributing something like this, Jono. We got a lot of comics from Canada today. I love the idea of including a cartoony roach against a more realistic painted world and background. I like that idea a lot. It really makes him pop. That's awesome. The world's most beloved bear, Zach Kodiak, in Pest Behavior. Riffing on all sorts of tropes from cartoons there. Wow. I like this. Yeah. This 2-page spread variant cover is really cool looking. The expressions are great. Especially the roach himself. Very expressive. Doing a comedy about death is a ballsy move. People don't love hearing about like death or disease. Like it you can make it funny, but the audience is primed to like sort of have their hackles raised. Well, I can't wait to check this out and share this. Let's see. So, jonodoiron.com. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the names right. I really am. But this is great. Rolland T Roach. Love it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very creative. We got two more. Two more. And this one comes from California. California. You're welcome. All these musical riffs. Just a little freebie. Just a little freebie from me to you be. To be. Kinyobi. That's today. Kinyobi. All right. This is a nice thick book. Ooh. All right. Let's pull this up. Look at that. I Don't Want to Be Here by Emerson Murray. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yes. This book is by somebody who has sent something in before. Emerson Murray sent in a zine called GI Bo, and I thought that was really funny. And said like they got to see Dan Clowes speak. That's so cool. This is a gory ninja romance filmed with guest stars and shifting art styles, and it just was super personal. And some respect in this letter to the cartoonist kayfabe guys. You know, those shoes I'll never be able to fill, unfortunately. But God, thank you to Jim and Ed for so many years of doing their mailbag episodes and featuring indie comics and self-published comics on such a big scale. And Tom Scioli still has his show where he'll do some stuff on indie stuff. I think Pencil to Pencil is a great interview show that talks to a wide variety of comic book creators, including some indie creators. I think that there's an audience and a marketplace for an ongoing show that analyzes and looks at a wide variety of indie books. I really do. Not necessarily talking about constant interviews. Interviews can be good, but you really need to almost already care about the creator. Interviews are a tough sort of entry point, at least deep dive ones. Maybe shorter ones can be. But I think that Jerk Comic does some great content, no question. And I just want to say that there is a market, and I don't have the time to become a channel that focuses only on indie stuff, but I definitely want to devote some of my time and share to the audience new things. So it's very important to me. I love discovering new things. This guy definitely is reminiscent of who was it? Jim and I did a movie review on Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, not Bronson. I know you're in the audience. This is great. Oh man, this is out there. This reminds me. Oh, okay, so much for me not showing stuff that's objectionable. Sorry. It is what it is. Sorry, guys. You're going to see a little bit of violence and nudity in an indie showcase. You just are. All right? It just is what it is. I try to sort of I'm not trying to be family friendly, but I'm trying to not get the algorithm too mad at me. But, within the context of art, I think you're able to talk about this. I have to admit, I'm a nerd. I know this guy likes G.I. Joe. This is a great looking Crocmaster. That's probably better than Crocmaster has ever looked. That's badass. Oh, wow. Cool. We get some robot stuff too. I love a ninja book. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Thank you, Emerson. Emerson Murray. Is there a website or anything in this? There might not be. I'll do some research when I edit the description. Oh boy. No, I'll have to look. That's my only piece of advice, folks, is put a website or a social on your book itself and make it obvious. You got to market yourself, and you got to help the audience find your stuff if they're not buying it right away, but they can see something or get a recommendation somewhere. That's just good marketing. Okay. Yep. Total Recall show. Tom Scioli does a lot of good, important stuff. Badass. I like it. We got one more. Let's see me struggle to open this guy. What great comics I've received today. Illinois we got. Got a cough. I feel a little bit sick, but don't really have much sick time, so can't really call out. Oh, cool. We talked to this artist on that, what do you call it, like 7 hour or so live stream I did. Winston Gambro really blew me away with this book, Lights in the Sky. That is so cool that he sent one to me. That's so cool. I appreciate that, Winston. So, whoops. First of all, there's some good marketing. WinstonGambro.com. That's nice of you to ask, Jeannie. And the short answer is Chrissy's pretty much over her pneumonia, but she's got something else very serious. I'll talk to you offline about it. All right. So, look at that. Very realistic. This is definitely dealing with conspiracy theory fears, as well as the idea of aliens and the implications therein. Set in the past, if it's not obvious by like the gas prices. Polybius. Don't believe that was ever a real game, but like there was a rumor that it was a real game, and it has some deep roots in conspiracy theory ideas. This looks great, Winston. I love stories like this. I was a big fan of X-Files in the 90s. Kind of went off the rails with its main story, but overall, really good show. Even like when the main show got bad, like there were still one-off episodes with monsters that were great. This is so cool. This is so cool. Jumping back in this time to 90s was like the height of conspiracy theory stuff. A lot of interest in aliens and government mistrust. Very cool. I can't wait to actually read this whole thing. But yeah, we got to talk to Winston on the live stream, talked up this book. Another person who's invested in the ISBN. They don't come cheap. Yeah. $25 for a big, thick trade paperback, Lights in the Sky. What a great book to end on. I don't think Winston was the teenager that we talked to. I think he works... No, he wasn't the teenager. I forget who was. Sorry. Yeah, gotta plug them socials. Was there anything on the back for social? He just included his like business cards and stuff, but it's WinstonGambro.com. Very cool. Very, very cool. Man. And there's one more, excuse me, that I was recommended not to open on a live stream. That's fair. Boy, that actually ended pretty well just because my camera was almost out of juice. It needs to be charged up. So that was good timing. Yeah, there were a lot of young people. But anyway, that was fun for me. I hope that was interesting to you, and maybe you found some comics that you care about. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as this stream ends, I'm going to do some research, find people's websites, link them in the description below, and add some chapters so that it's easier for people to jump around, find something that interests them, and if you like it, there'll be a link below so that you can find out more information on that writer or artist, publisher, creator. Happy to do that. Let's see. As far as my shows go, want to let you know a couple things. First of all, there is a new trash movie bonanza on this channel. That one's really, really funny, in my opinion. Really funny. Monday, I've got a ton of news to talk about, and I think we should have a short interview as well. And then for Comic Tropes, definitely an episode that will be out on Sunday. My patrons already have access to it. Editing another 2 episodes that I've recorded. So there should be weekly episodes each week. I think I can definitely keep up with that. But anyway, just letting you know that like this Sunday and the next 2, there will be new episodes on Comic Tropes. And then the last thing, just business type stuff. I'm looking into potentially renaming this channel like Comic Tropes After Dark. So I'm looking into like what it would take to do a rebrand. But I feel like that might be a more accurate channel name than just Pros and Cons. Just something I'm thinking about. Thank you, everybody that was here in chat. Thank you, everybody that's watching. If you got this far, please remember to hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, share. That stuff all helps. Hope you found something cool. Thank you, everybody, for making such great comics. My marching orders are the same as always. Keep reading comics. Take care. Bye.